Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. My name is Yakaba from Plain Tables Camp in Philly. And as you probably been seeing on the news, they're arresting people for not social distancing, fining them, and the constitutionalists and people were just really with good sense of saying that these laws don't make sense. And they're still carrying them out. So Esau, Edom, he's flexing his horns. He's showing you that he's really who he really is, what it's really about. It's all about control. Probably familiar with this word, draconian. It says excessive, harsh, severe, strict, extreme, drastic, stringent, tough. And this is named after this Athenian lawgiver, Dracon, short Draco, or his severe code of laws, rigorous, unusually severe or cruel, draconian forms of punishment. And that's exactly what they're doing because they're claiming this coronavirus, this novel coronavirus, is the most deadliest death that has ever occurred since the Spanish flu. All right, this is their actions prove that. All right. Now, this is Matthew 13 and 19. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which whom the power created unto his time, neither shall be, except those days should be shortened. Those days, and except that those days had shortened. Let's start over. This is Mark 13 and 19. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which the power created unto his time, neither shall be. And we look up affliction. We have thalepsis, which means oppressing, pressed together, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits, something that causes pain or suffering. All right. Now the things that I'm about to show you are just the beginning of what Esau plans on doing. This could be beta stages or alpha stages, depending on how you're looking at it, of affliction, being confined to your homes. You can't run your business because it's non-essential. And, Esau, Edom, he decided what was non-essential. He has a different outlook on reality than the average man, because Esau, Edom, these governments around the world, they're all about control and following what they say. All right. And except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened the days. So it's all about the elect. So it's going to get so bad, so much death, insurrections, murders are going to take place in these coming days, that Yahweh Shai is shortening the days. All right. All about the elect. Electos. It says chosen, picked out to obtain salvation through Hamashiach. All right. Choice, select, for example, the best of its kind or class, excellent, preeminent, surpassing all others, very distinguished in some way, applied to certain individual Christians. All right. So this is the elect among the Israelites. And of course, Yahushua is elected of the Father, only begotten Son of the Father. All right. The Father Yahweh and the Son Yahushua. All right. Begotten means gave birth to or created. All right. Why is Esau doing these things? And I'm about to show you a video. I'll let it probably about 5 minutes play. All right. This is why Esau is doing these things. And hopefully he sticks to the plan and goes forward. Sempre avante, which means always forward. Sempre avante. Always. Avante means forward. All right. Hopefully, and that's a newer order title or slogan motto. Hopefully he continues. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, Revelation 12:12, and ye that dwell in them. The heavens here is referring to the rulership, power, authority. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, meaning the people that dwell down here. All right, on earth, the people. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right, sempre avante. Hopefully that's his plan, that continuity doesn't break. All right, but it's the Lord's Yahushua's will. It's Yahweh Yahushua's will. All right, whether that's going to be a fact. All right. You know if they have but a short time. You know that the angels, they're making their appearances, and then as we move closer and closer toward these, the prophecy of the RFID microchip, the angels are going to get closer and closer. Those mysterious balls of light that people witness, that people see, they're going to get closer and closer until you're going to see them up close. And that truly is a curse to the Edomites and to them that are not chosen in Yahushua. This is Revelation 13. And 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should not speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't follow the rules, fall in line, and take that chip, you're going to be put to death, as you're about to see in the Fox video I'm gonna show you, and the 1984 clips. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, and that mark is charagma. We're going to keep saying no matter how tired it get. All right, charagma. Charagma. The mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right, which the Antichrist is really plural because it's a body of men. It's referring to the state. All right, the elite, not just one man. All right, this is a very good definition. As a badge of servitude. All right, the state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful. All right, that's the state, and you'll see that in the clips I'm going to show. All right. And if you don't receive that mark, 17 first, Revelation 13:17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you will not be able to engage in any commerce whatsoever, commerce or trade, except you have that mark. Well, trade with the state anyway, through their system. All right. And if you're not obedient, you will be killed. If you're not protected by the angels, you will be killed. All right. All right. So now we know. All right. We know who, how demonic Esau is, because it's being revealed day by day. Day by day, it's being revealed who the enemy is. What's the agenda? All right. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Those are the chariots, the angels of Yahushua. All right. The brightness of his coming, and the spirit of his mouth are the prophets, revealing to you this information. So it will increase your faith. And if you're not a believer, as of now, the Lord will, if you are the elect, will sup with you. But you have to have faith. All right. Even him whom coming is after the working of Satan, whom with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right. So like Esau, his agenda is directly after the working of Satan. All right. What proves it is his demonic mottos, his demonic sayings, and that he doesn't even follow his own laws that he set in place. He always have loopholes in the laws so he can play the part of Satan, the devil, which means adversary, slanderer. All right. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And definitely 2/3 of Israel, they're not going to be delivered. And they'll be deceived by Satan. They'll be deceived by his unrighteousness. All right. Draconian. We went over this in the beginning when I first started. If I didn't, I'm doing it again. Draconian, excessively harsh, extreme, severe, strict. Draconian, the Athenian statesman, Draco, or Dracon, of his severe code of laws, rigorous, unusually severe, cruel. Draconian forms of punishment. And this is the video. I guess Solid Snake gonna make an appearance of what they're doing, and this is just light compared to what they're going to push forward. All right, I did the video with the World Health Organization a couple days ago or yesterday, don't remember, of them. He made the statement that they're going to come into your house and quarantine you to make sure you're healthy and everybody in the house is healthy and get you help. All right, they're all about helping people, getting the proper medicine, the proper education, jobs. They're all about that. No, before I play that, I'll play this. The Agenda 21 has been upgraded to the Agenda 2030 because they couldn't get it done properly in 2021 because they made they amended certain things, added certain things. So Agenda 21 it says non-binding action plan of the United Nations with regards to sustainable development. All right, so they're all about helping the planet Earth, and every car running on hydrogen and electric, apparently. All right, and he's gonna summarize it here. So let him summarize it. What Agenda 21 is, and which is Agenda 2021. When they wanted to have everything, this plan that he's about to speak about, everything rolled out by 2021, but they're saying they've made adjustments. It says here, there's an optimistic date. All right. But the new timeline is 2030. All right. So he's going to explain how he wants to help people and get everybody jobs. And this is a plan they want to roll out. And they're going to make it seem like it's for your benefit and it's created by us. But really, it's going to be created by the state and by the governments of these nations. And they're going to force it upon the people. And it sounds good. All right. But they're going to do it by force.
The one big message I want to say to you is that people from all walks of life had an input into this process and into the negotiations. This agenda is truly an agenda that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. This is your agenda. At the core of the agenda are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, all of which have to be achieved by all nations by the end of 2030. Right? So, households everywhere will have access to basic nutrition, they will have access to education, to health, they will not face gender discrimination, they will have access to clean water, to sanitation, and sustainable energy. Companies across all countries will provide jobs for all. And when they will invest in sustainable societies and sustainable environments, and in addition to getting a decent rate of return on capital. Cities everywhere will be safe, resilient, inclusive. They will provide decent housing and jobs for all. Our common home, planet Earth, will be cared for.
Yeah, you can't do all that without all of the world's governments coming together and rolling out more legislation, more draconian type laws, like the social distancing thing. All right? They're separating men and women, they're separating families. But they themselves are not doing it. They themselves don't wear masks. Whereas the World Health Organization says that, it's not even preventing anything. So they don't even agree. What they're saying, healthy people shouldn't wear masks. They're still saying it. And they're saying that it could have negative effects for your health by wearing a mask. Because everybody's not wearing the same, or wearing new masks. They're wearing the same exact mask that they brought at the house. So bacteria is building up in it. So, Esau's making these laws, what he's calling them. They're calling them mandates. Mandatory, which goes back to giving into the hand. I did that lesson a few lessons ago. I looked at the word mandatory. They don't even make sense. All right. Well, they don't make any logical sense to benefit you. All right. But remember, there's no loyalty but loyalty to the state. And there's no love but love for Big Brother. All right. So this was a very good 10 minutes, but I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to play about 4 or 5 minutes where he makes some excellent points. Solid Snake makes an appearance, and he makes some excellent points.
In Texas, Congressman Dan Crenshaw, former Navy SEAL, author of the book Fortitude, American Resilience in the Age of Outrage. He joins us from his location. Congressman, because you are representing a district in Texas, wanted to ask you about Shelley Luther, that salon owner who said, look, I got to reopen. I know I can't open right now, but I got to do it because I got to put food on the table. She was held in contempt, or rather, she was issued a cease and desist order. She tore it up famously at a public demonstration. And then in front of the judge says, you want to apologize? She said no. Listen to this.
I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish, because feeding my kids is not selfish. I have hairstylists that are going hungry because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids getting fed, then please go ahead with your decision, but I'm not going to shut the salon.
Congressman, it seems like what every parent would do. I mean, ultimately, you need to feed your children. We do know that a GoFundMe page has been started, and over $500,000 has been raised for her so far. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, these so-called leaders and these so-called judges across the country, arresting moms and dads. And, of course, she's not the only case. A dad was arrested in Colorado for playing catch with his daughter. A paddleboarder who was paddleboarding alone in the ocean was chased down by police boats in California. Guy in Florida had to be sent to court because he was trying to sell takeout out of his restaurant. This is happening over and over. And these so-called leaders, these so-called judges, they need to take a civics lesson. Okay, these laws will not be respected if they are not respectable laws. People are not dumb. They can understand and they can assess whether a law makes sense, whether it's really based on data and public health. And a lot of these things aren't, right? We've seen a lot of rules being passed that simply don't make sense. And then they go further. Then they want to actually punish you. They want to use the full force of the law, fine you, throw you in jail, arrest you, take away your freedom just because you're engaging in activity that was previously perfectly legal. Okay, engaging in a voluntary transaction with another human being has long been a legal and perfectly okay activity. And to all of a sudden make it illegal and then use the full force of the law to enforce it, that goes against our very basic values. Listen, I'm all for the guidelines, okay? But the government has to use the lightest touch possible. And these so-called leaders are not doing that. They are infringing on people's freedoms, all while, by the way, advocating to allow other criminals who have previously been in jail to be released. So it's contradictory in that sense too, and it's in complete contradiction to our Constitution and our way of life and what our society is founded upon.
I mean, I'll give you an example. Why can't you go to a car wash? Why can't a jewelry store open up on Mother's Day a few days before in order to maybe sustain their business? Why can the liquor store be open? And why can I go to a supermarket, but I can't go to a sports store? Why do they expect people to really think that's rationalized behavior? Why do they think I can't walk on the beach or get this, sit on the beach? How dare I sit on the beach? I could get a fine if I sit and sunbathe on the beach as opposed to sit on my couch, where 66% of the people who have been hospitalized in New York were people who are sheltered in place. Dan, we're not stupid.
Because they're drunk on power.
This is not
they're
working.
Drunk on power. They think we're stupid. They think we're stupid, and they're drunk on power. And this is why you're seeing people rise up. Americans are sick of it. They have a sense of injustice. They have a sense that these so-called leaders, these so-called judges, they have a sense that they're not actually implementing the law, because these aren't laws, right? These are executive orders. They have a sense that they're not really implementing justice as we understand it as a culture and as a society. We know that they're doing the wrong thing, and we have to call them out for it.
Okay, so Dan or Congressman.
All right, so that was it. And then you said a lot. And again, the government thinks that people are stupid. People, they can see that the things that are happening, that the law, the executive orders, mandates are not logical. People can see that. So don't think that people, even though they're following them, they know that the things that we're going through, it's nonsense. And they're more afraid that the other guy's afraid of you. This is why they're complying, There's a good understanding that, that these laws and this social distancing crap is bullshit. I didn't social distance, so I got sick, So that was it on that. So that was all my scriptures. I'm gonna go back to one, and then you're gonna see this 1984 stuff. All right, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even to him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right, and that's Esau's agenda. All right, to display those lying wonders, and to use his media machine and his military might, which is the police I'm referring to in this respect, to enforce those executive orders and those mandates. All right. And who's giving them the power? Satan. Spiritual demon Satan is giving Esau, Edom the power, and these governments power around the world to implement their executive orders or their equivalents and their mandates. All right. So understand these what's happening today has been prophesied, and Esau, he even tells you in his movies. All right, we got Psalm 64. He even tells you in his movies what you're about to see. It's Psalm 64 and 8. It says, "So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." So we know what Esau is ramping up to fully implement. We're just in the beginning stages of it right now.
Pick that up. Please.
You knew this would happen, Winston. Don't deceive yourself. You've always known it. The photos of you and the girl will be recycled for proletarian use. Is nonsense. No such law exists. If I think I float, and you think I float, then it happens. I love you. You have the strength, Winston. You have the whole party. You are the party. You're one of us. One of the chosen. I love you.
I love you too.
Julia! Julia!
Get up. Stand up straighter. You've understood the reality of the past and of the present, Winston. Now, what of the future? A question. How does one man assert power over another?
By making him suffer.
Exactly. Obedience is not enough. Power is inflicting pain and humiliation, otherwise you cannot be sure. Power is tearing human minds apart and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Power is not a means, it is an end. In our world, there will only be triumph and self-abasement. Everything else we shall destroy. The past is forbidden. Why? Because when we can cut man from his own past, then we can cut him from his family, his children, other men. There is no loyalty except loyalty to the party. There is no love except love of Big Brother. All competing pleasures we will destroy. If you want a vision of the future, Winston, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever.
It's out late. Committees. You know what us parsons are like.
You're a thought criminal.
They haven't been out much.
War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. A triumph of willpower over the orgasm. At a rally of the Anti-Sex League in Victory Square tonight, held to celebrate a 50% decrease in civil marriages, over 10,000 party women took a vow of celibacy and pledged themselves as vessels for the artificial insemination program after their...
I should kill them.
Committees. You know what us parsons are like.
You're a thought criminal.
They haven't been out much.